Shalom, good morning. Hope everybody's having a blessed day. Today we're going to start continuing on into Genesis chapter 25. I'm going to turn the phone. Okay. Abraham took another wife whose name was Keturah. She bore him Zimran, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. Jokshan begot Sheba and Dedan. The descendants of Dedan were Ashurim, the Lechuim, and the Lemimim. The descendants of Midian were Ephah. I can't do it like this. Maybe they'll be quiet. The descendants of Dedan were Ashurim, the Lechuim, and the Lemimim. The descendants of Midian were Ephah, Epher, and Enoch, Abida, and Elada. All those were descendants of Keturah. Abraham, I'm going to use this. Abraham willed all that he owned to Isaac, but to Abraham's sons by concubines of Abraham gave gifts while he was still living, and he sent them away from his son Isaac eastward to the land of the east. This was the total span of Abraham's life, 175 years. And Abraham breathed his last, dying at a good ripe age, old and contented. He was gathered to his kin. His sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in a cave of Machpelah in the field of Ephron, son of Zohar the Hittite, facing Mamre, in the field that Abraham had brought from the Hittites. There Abraham was buried, and Sarah his wife. After the death of Abraham, God blessed his son Isaac, and Isaac settled near Beer-lahai-roi. This is the line of Ishmael, Abraham's son, whose Hagar, the Egyptian Sarah's slave, bore to Abraham. These are the names of the sons of Ishmael, by their names in order of their birth. Nebaioth, the firstborn of Ishmael, Kedar, Adbeel, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadad, Tema, Jetur, Naphish, and Kedma. These are the sons of Ishmael, and these are the names. By their villages and by their encampments, 12 chieftains of as many tribes. These were the years of their life of Ishmael, 137 years. Then he breathed his last breath and died and was gathered to his kin. They dwelt from Havilah by Shur, which is close to Egypt, all the way to Ashur. They camped alongside all their kinsmen. This is the story of Isaac, son of Abraham. Abraham begot Isaac. Isaac was 40 years old when he took to wife Rebekah, daughter of Bethuel and Aramean of Padan Aram, sister of Laban, the Aramean. Isaac pleaded with the Lord on behalf of his wife, because she was barren, and the Lord responded to his plea, and his wife Rebekah conceived. But the children struggled in their womb, and she said, "If so, why do I exist? She went to inquire of the Lord, and the Lord answered her, 2 nations are in your womb. 2 separate peoples shall issue from your body. One people shall be mightier than the other, and the other shall serve the younger. When her time to give birth was at hand, there were twins in her womb. The first emerged red, like a hairy mantle, all over, so they named him Esau. Then his brother emerged, holding on the one heel of Esau, so they named him Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when they were born. When the boys grew up, Esau became a skillful hunter, a man of the outdoors, but Jacob was a mild man who stayed in camp. Isaac favored Esau because he had a taste for game, but Rebekah favored Jacob. Once, when Jacob was cooking a stew, Esau came from the open famished. And Esau said to Jacob, "Give me some of that red stuff to gulp down, for I am famished," which is why he was named Edom. Jacob said, "First, tell me your birthright." And Esau said, "I am at the point of death, so of what use is my birthright to me?" But Jacob said, "Swear to me first." So he swore to him and sold his birthright to Jacob. Jacob then gave Esau bread and lentil stew. He ate and drank, and he rose and went away. Thus did Esau spurn the birthright. 26. There was a famine in the land, aside from the previous famine that had occurred in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went to Abimelech, king of the Philistines, in Gerar. The Lord had appeared to him and said, "Do not go down to Egypt. Stay in the land which I pointed out to you. Reside in this land, and I will be with you and bless you. I will give you all these lands to you and your offspring, fulfilling the oath that I swore to your father Abraham. I will make your descendants as numerous as the stars of heaven, and give to your descendants all these lands, so that all the nations of the earth shall bless themselves by your offspring, inasmuch as Abraham obeyed me and kept my charge, my commandments, my laws, and my teachings." So Isaac stayed in Gerar. When the men of the place asked him about his wife, he said, She is my sister. She is my sister." For he was afraid to say my wife, thinking, "The men of the place might kill me on account of Rebekah, for she is beautiful." When some time had passed, Abimelech, king of the Philistines, looked out the window, saw Isaac fondling his wife Rebekah. Abimelech sent for Isaac and said, "So she is your wife. Why then would you say, 'She is my sister'?" Isaac said to him, "Because I thought I might lose my life on account of her." Abimelech said, "What have you done to us? One of the people might have lain with your wife, and you would have brought guilt upon us." Abimelech then charged all the people, saying, "Anyone who molests this man or his wife shall be put to death." Isaac sowed in the land and reaped 100-fold in the same year. The Lord blessed him, and the man grew richer and richer until he was very wealthy. He acquired flocks and herds and a large household, so that the Philistines invited him. And the Philistines stopped up all the wells which his father's servants had dug in the days of his father Abraham, filling them with earth. And Abimelech said to Isaac, "Go away from us, for you have become far too big for us." So Isaac departed from there and encamped in the Wadi of Gerar, where he settled. Isaac dug anew the wells which had been dug in the days of his father Abraham, and which the Philistines had stopped up after Abraham's death, and he gave them the same names that the father had given them. But when Isaac's servants, digging the wadi, found there a well of spring water, the herdsmen of Gerar quarreled with Isaac's herdsmen, saying, "The water is ours." He named that well Esek, because they contended with him. And when they dug another well, they disputed over that one also. So he named it Sitna. He moved from there and dug yet another well, and they did not quarrel over it. So he called it Rehoboth, saying, Now at last the Lord has granted us ample space to increase in the land. From there he went up to Beersheba. That night the Lord appeared to him and said, "I am the God of your father Abraham. Fear not, for I am with you, and I will bless you and increase your offspring for the sake of my servant Abraham." So he built an altar, and there invoked the Lord by name. Isaac pitched his tent there, and his servants started digging a well. And Abimelech came to him from Gerar with Ahuzzath, his counselor, and Phicol, chief of his troops. Isaac said to them, "Why have you come to me, seeing that you have been hostile to me and have driven me away from you?" And they said, "We now see plainly that the Lord has been with you, and we thought, let there be a sworn treaty between our two parties, between you and us. Let us make a pact with you that you will not do us harm, just as we have not molested you, but you have always dealt kindly with you and sent away in peace. From now on, be you blessed of the Lord." They had made them a feast, and they ate and drank. Early in the morning, they exchanged oaths. Isaac then bade them farewell, and they departed from him in peace. That same day, Isaac's servants came and told him about the well they had dug, and said to him, "We have found water." We have found water. He named it Sheba. Therefore, the name of the city is Beer-sheba to this day. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. When Esau was 40 years old, he took to wife Judith, daughter of Beri the Hittite, and Basmath, daughter of Elon the Hittite, and they were a source of bitterness to Isaac and Rebekah. Okay, brothers and sisters, have a wonderful day. I pray you guys have a blessed day in Yeshua, and I'll be praying for anybody who wants a prayer request. Please put it in the messages below, and I'll keep you in my prayers today and forever until our Yeshua Messiah returns. And that's going to be very soon, because we're in the times of we're in the last minutes, folks. Stay strong. I love you all, and so does Yeshua. Yeshua's with you always. Remember that you're never alone. Shalom.